that first best of 3 was any indicator, Carter, of the map and the series that we have to come, this one should hopefully be extremely exciting. You've got the experience, the international fortitude, former world champions in SSG against the challengers, the Challenger League 2022 champions, and a team that may lack experience, but what they don't lack in Carter is confidence. Mr. B came out to start the 2022 season in Challenger League, and he said, we are going to go undefeated. And guess what? They did.
And he's the kind of man that even if this qual, if it didn't have SSG or TSM in it, it could have Liquid and BDS in it, he would still say, you know what? We're winning this 2-0. I know what my team is capable of, and I can do it. Now, whether or not that might actually happen, of course, he has to qualify for Invite first, but he's certainly having that confidence against SSG. For the bans, of course, for Reality TV, at least on their side, they've stuck with their normal border bans. Reality TV have banned Valkyrie over 75% of the games they have played this year, and on border, have banned Ying pretty much every single time. SSG will counter a little bit more, instead going with that Twitch and Malusi ban. That latter in particular is an operator Tristan normally plays. But I'm not really worried about, Tristan, if he's playing Malusi or something else. I'm worried about Tristan, period. As they go to Armory Archives, Tristan normally plays that fountain position. And I got to say, Jonah, if I'm the man who's taking a gunfight with Tristan in particular, I'm going to be very concerned.
Well, especially now that he's on the dock, right? You give him that extra firepower. You give him that extra confidence because he's got the ability to heal himself back up, heal his teammates back up. Keep an eye on that. But also keep your eye on Mr. B bringing out the Solus, something that we're obviously going to talk about so much in this series, and I think is going to be a major theme at the 6 Invitational coming up, because with her introduction directly into the competitive world here and the power that she brings to the table when she's not banned, when she is left up after the operator ban phase, and you go to a map like Border with so much soft destruction, so much vertical play at the hands of these defensive and attacking teams, can be so dangerous even when site control has been taken by the attack, because you never know where the Solus is lying in wait.
For Mr. B in particular, he's been on the record saying that he thinks Solus is a very good operator, but that she's not a must-pick every single round, that she's not a mandatory staple of your lineup. And I think the TSM Mirage game we just saw reflected that. A Solus every now and then, but not every round. For Reality TV as well, normally it's been Giddy or Tristan to pick up that Solus, and this time it's Mr. B. But if you want to talk about Giddy, we saw him setting up that barbed wire outside. He always plays that Azami in that CCTV position, and that's a spot that if SSG want to start their clear over by CCTV, can reliably know that Giddy will likely be there and could be susceptible to a nade, whether from outside on the balcony or down below. And in this case for Fultz, he's looking to try and take him down from below in customs.
Yeah, SSG have already made their way inside this first floor and beginning that very soft destruction that we just talked about, Carter. The first nade, it'll miss. Not exactly sure if they were aiming at another gadget or something else around the other side of the wall. Simply maybe a lack of intel on that top floor, at least in CCTV, where that defender was positioned. So the first nade will come up with nothing. That'll leave them still with 3 nades in pocket and a load of explosive utility in the hands of Yeti, in the hands of Hot and Cold. So they have a ton of utility to work with on the attacking side still. Another nade, though. They've got a ping to work with this time. It'll go up and it'll claim the opener. This Rampy onto Mr. B to kick things off.
SSG for the first minute and a half, not committing to anything just yet. If they get the kill in CC, they might push there, but now the pressure is starting to mount against Reality TV down below from Vent into Office. We see Rampy down below with that nade, Yeti outside on Vent balcony. They're looking to start rotating over to Office. Fultz, of course, could still probe down below and get this pick on Giddy. If he makes that work, if they get the 3v5, they might push very soon, but now it's damage onto Tristan. Yeti trying to take down that dock. If one more kill goes SSG's way in this next minute over on that Office side, you can bet them that they'll hit the execute.
Well, that execute potentially only moments away, because with Fultz working his way up these metal stairs, he's got a chance to find Rice here, playing Fountain aggressively for a moment, but then electing to back off. Still, SSG have plenty of time, and they are starting to establish this control firmly on several different parts of this top floor. Rice, though, continues that aggression, picks up a kill for Reality TV to equalize, but Rampy, he will quickly trade that one back.
That's still alive inside of the site. Rampy retreating down below. The smokes go out. If this is going to be an execute, SSG might have the man advantage, but Bosco might have to repel in. Instead, it's Rampy and Metal.
Hat gets one back though, but Bosco now getting this plant down. Wide swing from Hat, got to win this engagement if Reality TV want to win this round. Giddy knows he's got to get aggressive, and with Hat falling, that's probably going to do it. Giddy doesn't have the best chances in the world here, especially, well, because he really didn't know where SSG was positioned. The opening round will go to the pro and experienced side of SSG as it will kick things off on Border on the right foot.
Yeah, Reality TV, they changed up some of the operators, but that's been the same Armory defense that they have been running all the way since the start of Stage 3. You have Mr. B on East Stairs, Giddy inside of CCTV. So SSG, a team notorious for doing their homework, pretty much knew exactly what to expect from the positions of Reality TV, and I think that's reflected in their play. They didn't get bogged down by Mr. B on East Stairs, or potentially Giddy supporting from CCTV, like we've seen some CL teams do back in Stage 3. Instead, they go down below. They don't try to take any one-on-one gunfights with the incredibly talented players on Reality TV. So they try to use those nades, try to create their own openings, whether it be on Office or Armory side. And I have to admit, Reality TV, especially by Metal Stairs, putting up a good fight to try and stop that SSG attack. SSG's patience and experience and the ability to coordinate when it's only 15 seconds left is what they demonstrated and what got them that first round.
Well, Reality TV proving that they can be extremely mobile, extremely fluid with their operator selection here, as you're seeing in round number 2, bringing out a ton of different operators. Mr. B switching over to the Capcan. We've got the Oryx coming out, the Pulse from Giddy, and of course, Pat bringing out the Frost. Completely different selection for a completely different bomb site. Vertical play still going to be a focus, as we see Reality TV setting up this top floor, at least to some extent. Likely using Giddy on that Pulse to give them some extra intel as to where these attackers are positioned. With those black eye cameras taken off the board, it's a very reasonable ban coming out of that operator ban phase. Reality TV and SSG on that second half are going to have to favor more traditional methods of that information gathering, such as that heartbeat sensor, maybe bringing out a bulletproof camera or two, or in the case of Tristan, bringing out those proximity mines to figure out exactly where SSG are making their entry.
Well, Tristan's method of intel gathering might just be running around that top floor, trying to take gunfights and figure out where SSG are pushing from. But of course, for this setup, he's sitting tucked inside of Armory. Hot and Cold has made his way up east. So SSG are looking primed and ready to clear this Armory position. They have Hot and Cold watching the flank, maybe even wanting to push into Office if he thinks he has the opportunity. While the rest is stationed inside of CC and outside of Armory. This should be the only one inside right now. He might sprint out into 90, but that wall opened up. I was about to say, he's got to retreat with the other 3 defenders on that top floor and wait for SSG to push them.
Yeah, needs to be careful here because SSG are taking swiftly a good bit of control around this map. Reality TV staying cautious right now, and I like that. They're doing a good job of not forcing the issue, not overstaying their welcome in any of these extended positions, making sure that they're staying alive when it comes to that eventual push. But this extension on the top floor, this direct vertical hold, Carter, they are going to hold this with their lives. They are never going to give this up if they don't have to, because SSG, that is their #1 focus. And for the next 30 seconds, ideally, if Reality TV can continue to waste this time, they'll set themselves up nicely for that late round hold.
Flash is starting to go in. Fultz looking to push his way through this Armory door. Second flash on in, but still no capitalization from SSG. Reality TV starting to fall back just a little bit. Hat, the last one upstairs. Mr. B, the first one into the fray as he takes down Hot and Cold. Second one goes as Giddy C4 rings true. SSG down 3-5 with only 45 seconds left. One of these nades, or one of these defenders needs to peek.
Well, good nade there from Ramp. He's got a second one, actually, cooked up to a very similar position. It'll be Yeti who actually finds one. And with Bosco dropped, that'll mean that Yeti has to rotate, get him back up, and that'll waste a little bit of time, though. Still 25 seconds. That is ample time at this point in the round. They just do have to get this execute going. Oh, but it looks like there's still some vertical control, vertical destruction that Rampy wants to get done. Hoping to get a couple of more angles established, force these defenders to rotate around, make sure they cannot feel safe on the site. And it looks like that's worked. Reality TV, they've been forced to back all the way off. It looks like they might be playing for a little bit of a retake here. Mr. B, he tries to retake too early. That C4 lands. Oh, and it lands just in the nick of time, denying that bomb from going down and just sneaking out the round just barely.
That was Rice, the new pickup on Reality TV, winning that round for his team because SSG had set themselves up in some very prime spots to get that on inside of Workshop. You have one player on main door to watch anybody rotating from customs or down armory stairs, and planning behind that server rack gives you a nice little buffer in case anyone pushes into vent. But of course, you're not completely safe. SSG didn't have complete control of that part of the map. So Rice is able to make his way on in and without exposing himself to any angles, land that C4 because they had intel, or at least had an idea of where SSG were planting. So excellent game plan by Rice, where even though Reality TV were flooded out of the site and pushed off into customs and inside of the extremities of vents, still able to win that on time with that well-placed C4.
Yeah, that's great discipline from Reality TV. I mean, to hold that position, knowing that SSG pretty much had firm control of the site, and just relying on Rice to get that C4. I mean, really, that was the plan. I mean, yeah, you could maybe hope that Mr. B could sneak around the other side and try to catch the planter out unaware, but there was ample coverage from the main door, and Reality TV probably had to know that. When they backed off and chose to play that passively, they were relying on the plant denial, and, well, Carter, that plant denial delivered, and that was textbook. So yeah, they'll tie us up. We're back even at 1, heading into round number 3, where SSG will try to mix things up on their side now, bringing out the Monty.
Yeah, when you see that Monty on border, and it's an Armory Archives attack, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be an Archives push. They're going to try to go in through that balcony and get the bomb down on that doorway with someone covering vents, some smoke grenades, and in this case, some smoke bolts instead of smoke grenades. Though Hot and Cold could easily use some of his as well. Try and get the bomb down very quickly and directly. Reality TV also giving us a little bit of a different look, as Mr. B absent from his normal East Stairs position, instead playing Warden inside the rest of the site with his team. This might serve to favor Reality TV as well. SSG might have a very direct pathway into Archives without having to worry about any pressure on East Stairs. They've opened to the castle barricade as well, but all 5 Reality TV defenders, if they aren't dealt with, they can easily form a gigantic crossfire on that position if that Monty tries to push in.
Yeah, and that is, of course, the death of any shield player, a crossfire. As long as, you know that there's one angle the defenders can really push you from, then as a shield player, you're safe. You're good to hang out there for the remainder of the round. But in this case, they do have to deal with a couple of these other defenders first. Looks like that nade from below actually doesn't end up coming, as Rampy will think twice, and instead, wait a minute, they're going for this plant right now. Mr. B, he's got a C4. It's a little late, and that will allow Hot and Cold to back off. They're going to stay safe for now, and with that plant denied initially, ooh, the second C4, that's what's going to matter. Rice will pick it up, much like he did in that last round. This one onto Fault to give them a little advantage here, but that's 2 C4s burned. That's all the explosives burned on the Reality TV side, and without a smoke in play, theoretically, SSG, this next time they want to go for the plant, they shouldn't have any issue.
They have Rampy down below to cover as well. He might be out of nades, but he can make sure that nobody can go below. Maybe try to shoot that Monty through the floor. Yeti watching as well in case anybody gets aggressive. This bomb should go down with the Monty covering. Mr. B will try to peek, but Yeti cuts him down. And SSG are looking mighty fine for this post plan.
And now what are they supposed to do? All SSG, they just have to sit back and wait. And Reality TV, they have to do the work here. Good Kiva barrier, but Yeti is still there. He's got the angle, and he knows it. Giddy, holding the head holes, though, absolutely dusts him, and Rampy's got to be careful. Giddy's holding this defuse around the other side, and it's Tristan with the coverage to shut down Rampy. But Carter, it was the Kiba barriers. It was the Azami that just won the round for Reality TV.
And I think that ended up being a 2v4 from Reality TV once things started to get hectic and once things entered that post plant. And that's a good round to show that this isn't just your run-of-the-mill CL team. This isn't somebody who lucked into this position by getting a blessed bracket either in Challenger League or Open Quals. You have Rice, who so far has been clinical with those C4s, winning one round off of it and denying the initial plant on the second after Mr. B messed up his own C4. So the team is able to call that Mr. B missed it, get Rice into position to then throw that C4 and deny the initial plant. And then once the bomb actually goes down, those extremely well-placed Kibas by Reality TV. Now, of course, you can't block everything. Yeti's able to get an angle on the bomb and players defusing. Yeti's able to take that in his own hands and kill the very same player who is running roughshot over his team.
I mean, this is the danger of Border, right? It allows, there's so much flexibility for both attacking and defensive teams, but like Reality TV just proved to us that they're a team that can fight their way out of these deficits, that can fight their way out of these, awkward situations. And I mean, that was as an awkward situation as it's gonna be. But again, that's really good use of those Kiva barriers, prioritizing utility there instead of taking gunfights in that post plant. I mean, that's frankly a ballsy move, but they pulled it off and they made it look good while doing it. So they'll be up 1 now, 2-1, taking the lead here, as that was 2 rounds in a row. So SSG, they're going to have to be a little more aware of that, more aware that Reality TV, at any time, they can, well, just retake the site. They've done it 2 rounds in a row, and yeah, that is tough to deal with as an attacking team.
This site, the Reality TV, though, if they're getting to a spot where they have to retake, things have certainly gone awry, and there probably won't be a lot of surviving defenders if they get to that point. Teller's Archives requires at least 2 players usually holding Office and Armory, maybe 1 or 2 players in Vents, and right now, okay. Rice getting a little aggressive, yet he thankfully misses his shots, and Rice is able to cross into Bathroom successfully. But SSG aren't really concerning themselves with that roam right now, at least from the players we're seeing. We see the Buck on the top floor. Right now, we see the Blackbeard and the Dokkaebi both down below, trying to catch some of these defenders roaming around the bottom floor or moving inside of the site. So 2 players down below, and maybe 2 to 3, including that Montaigne on the top floor. With over half the round now gone, SSG need to start making progress. They want to clear it out, or clear out this roam, clearing out Mr. B on East Stairs, and then likely the players inside of Office and Fountain will be priority number 1 if they do want to end up going for that full clear.
Yeah, tough to clear out a Wamai with those magnets and, in this case, a couple of ADSs. But again, if you have a Monty, it's a different story. Because now Mr. B, well, he's going to be worried about somebody constantly swinging behind the Monty to take that gunfight, and his location is constantly being pinged. So he knows that he is coming under fire. Question is, are SSG going to actually take care of him here? Because they've yet to put a bullet in his skull, and they're going to have to do that eventually if they want to take this top floor control. Like you said, Carter, finally, he will go down. I think Rampy from below, but good timing there from Rice to get the trade. That C4 will get 2! A double kill onto the Monty and the Ace, just like that. Reality TV have this 4v2.
I mean, 7 kills so far for Rice, and the majority, 4 of them, with C4s, half of those 4 right there. The roam not cleared. Reality TV stand strong on the 2nd and the 1st floor. Fultz might still have these shields, so he'll take a couple bullets before he's put down. He'll make his way into Courtyard, into waiting room alone, with a heartbeat scanner likely trying to sense his position, but Giddy's got the gun out instead. Shield now gone. He's got 1 more to put on his face, but the castle hat just hops right down. He loses life, but he's put the Blackbeard to 1 HP and put 1 more round in Reality TV's column.
Nice little funny play to end it there, but that was Reality TV all day long. I mean, the moment that they held that control on that top floor, and again, that C4 from Rice. I mean, such well-timed SSG. They kind of started to crumble. And that happens when you get tunnel visioned on dealing with a certain player. If, in the case of Reality TV, they're aware that your entire focus as an attack is taking care of one person, sure, that person is probably going to die, and Mr. B was the first to fall, but it means that you're able to pop up and get involved in other ways. Reality TV did that. Rice got involved first with the SMG-11, dealing with some of those players down below, and then getting involved with the C4 because he figured that he had some flexibility down below. Smart decision-making from Reality TV. If they keep that up, I mean, 3 rounds so far on defense, that's just the beginning.
And it's also the problem with how SSG wanted to take that, because they sort of established horizontal control. I mean, they had customs, they had some pressure in Courtyard, as we saw with Rampy clearing out Mr. B there. But they didn't really get a lot of pressure up above, and more specifically, didn't have a lot of people watching to see if Rice made those aggressive plays. We have the castles blocking line of sight from customs or from passport. So when Rampy goes for that, Rice is able to play aggressively and go for that trade because SSG have decided they want to pinch Mr. B from the top of East Stairs, but from Courtyard as well. So as you said, good positioning and good awareness by Rice, who is definitely so far the standout player for Reality TV. Coming in, taking up Valor's roles, who in turn, when he came in, picked up Hacker's roles when he was initially on Rampy. Gotta wait to make sure everything's all good.
Well, Carter, you said that this is, the little you know, pre-show to invite, right? The thing to get everyone kind of hyped, everyone
prologue.
involved. Exactly, the prologue. I like that. But let's not forget how important this event actually is, because the last two teams that from NA that have taken control of the 6 Invitational, that have taken control of the world domination, world champions, guess where they came from, Carter? They came from this very event.
Did they?
They came from
North
this
American
very
close quals? They came
right
from
here.
this qual?
TSM, the reigning champions. They came from the close qualifiers. They had to fight their way through. SSG back in 2020, the same story. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure they had to fight their way through a close qualifier, and they had a long road ahead of them, but it's a road that they were happy to undertake and happy to win. So listen, I mean, at the end of the day, there's still a lot more to go, and there's still a lot of competition at the other side, but I mean, if you're looking at the stats, whoever wins this right here, this close qualifier, I'm gonna say they're winning invite. That's just my prediction.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't think you're wrong. I think we honestly should just cancel the event. I mean, whoever wins NA closed quals, it's just might as well save everyone the airfare. It's a foregone conclusion. Of course, it's not exactly. For those of you who don't know, by the way, Bosco has not dropped a qualifier since he's been playing, and he's also, I believe, not missed an invite since he started playing as well. So obviously those two things, even if they lose this series, are not, you know, gone and done. Still got one more BO3 if SSG do end up losing this, but there is also some personal stakes on the line for this team. 45 seconds in, transition back. We got Ventilation Workshop defense from Reality TV. And SSG once again trying to take things horizontally, not playing into the roam that Reality TV are putting forth inside of Office or inside of Armory. Instead, their beachhead will be customs once again. So Giddy will tangle with someone outside main door, taking a bit of damage as he rotates back into sight and almost losing his life at that.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage now as he's cut down to just about, 5 HP remaining. Still tucked in Workshop, hoping that he stays alive for now, and it looks like he will. That hope will, that prayer will be granted here. Fultz, it may not be the same story for him. He's got Mr. B approaching from around the other side, but it was really Mr. B who bit off more than he could chew there. Fultz heard him coming from a mile away. The Capcan is not that stealthy as much as he'd like to believe. SSG with the opener and some good patience to start off round 5 that have already worked wonders for them.
They've got the majority of the opening picks so far, albeit 3 for SSG and 2 for Reality TV, and, well, 2 of those 3, Reality TV have managed to trade them. But with Giddy on low HP inside of the site and now spotted by that drone, this could be a 5v3 if he ends up exposing himself to any angles from SSG. But we only have a minute left, and SSG have now rotated to the top floor as well, potentially going to that half clear and Armory to flood in and take that vertical control, but they're running out of time to make this work. Giddy might be on low health, and Reality TV might be 4 to 5 right now. SSG are certainly taking their sweet time with it, letting Reality TV get some intel and almost get a kill.
Yeah, Yeti taking care of Hat here. That's great coverage. And Rampy, like you said, almost killed, but still in this fight. Should be able to get picked back up in 30 seconds. Will give SSG enough time to make a move, but watch out, it's Rice. He's been an incredible threat so far, and he's not slowing down. You've got Tristan up above as well. One player to deal with. That'll be hot and cold on the vertical coverage, but still, SSG have yet to push into the site and get the bomb down. Bosco still has to make a move, and finally he will. Going for this plant now in Vents, but Yeti, he's been dropped. Rampy's low HP. You've got to be careful now, SSG, because Reality TV, they are fighting back. Diffuser goes down, but it's a 2v2. Hot and cold up above. Giddy knows this. Knows exactly what he has to pay attention to. Is Rice going to go upstairs for the retake, or is he going to go direct? Look like he's going to work his way up the metal stairs. Knows he's got to do this because this is where both of the SSG attackers remain. Unfortunately, Rice is caught looking the other way. Giddy, the only thing he can do is stick the defuse, but it is SSG who've had ample time to talk things over, and it works out well in the end, claiming their second round here on Border.
And SSG, they are taken up every single second they possibly have at their disposal to get these executes down. And I mean, I'm not going to blame them for it. I'd rather a team use all the time granted to them than not enough of the time granted to them. But they are not doing a lot to push Reality TV out of these spots. And yet, like I said during the break, it's still working out. Either almost working out, or in the case of that round we just saw, it is working out. They are inside of customs and outside main door. for 2 minutes of the round, and then don't take vertical control until the last minute of the round, but they've managed to set themselves up in positions, built off the opening pick, taking down Mr. B, even when things get hectic, they're able to keep the advantage and then gain the control they're looking for, and that's the danger of SSG. It's like the tortoise and the hare. The tortoise is deceptive, they might seem slow, but if you let the tortoise run the race like he wants to, there's a good chance you might lose the round no matter how fast you go.
I love that, Carter. That's a really nice way of putting it.
Dude, that was a domer right there.
Wow. I mean,
that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, wow. I think you're absolutely right, and I think another way to look at that round and that adjustment we saw from SSG, right? In that TAC timeout, wonder if they discussed Reality TV and their pacing of those defensive rounds. We've seen Reality TV do a great job at backing off those extensions and heading back to the site when time gets low. If SSG read into that, they may have decided, wait a minute, let's just pretend we're not going for this top floor clear, or let's wait until Reality TV have backed off so that when we do go for that top floor control, it's not as risky and we can take it and, lose a lot fewer bodies, waste a lot less utility in that position. I don't know, maybe that's a long shot, but either way, well adjusted from SSG, and that worked beautifully. And so now they'll look to do it again. Springing here in round number 6, a chance to tie up the scoreline here. Fultz looking to get things started on the Nook.
Yeah, he's creeped his way in from Passport, and even with the Hell device deactivated, nobody on that default cam outside of Courtyard, he can slip on by into Bathroom and get the eye on his prize, that hatch inside of Office. There's nobody playing there right now, nobody playing aggressively on that wall, but if there was and somebody were rotating back, then he could hold that for as long as he wanted to, maybe even toss a nade up in there. The angle might be a little bit awkward. SSG have gone this half clear before, but they've only played war a few times recently. Usually with the Oso, they'll set that up on the east balcony, then set up another Osa looking over towards 90 or inside of Office. In this case, going for the latter, but Hot and Cold might have just been rotating over instead. What's clear, though, that's SSG, again, taking things very slowly. They're going for that Office plan. They want it, and Fultz has taken Rampy's position now, playing the nades down below, but with that Hell device and 3 players inside of Fountain Jonah, might just hit a flank up metal stairs as well and try to get a 2 or even 3 piece to tip the scales towards SSG.
Yeah, at any time, he really could sneak his way up that position and really send Reality TV reeling, I suppose you could say. Still waiting to make that move, sitting down below and staying patient, hoping that these nades will make the mark early, but they have yet to find their target. It doesn't look like any defenders are positioned where Fultz is hoping. Clearing out those positions, though, that's certainly happening now, and that has allowed SSG to take this additional control. Rampy, the first one to strike, will step up and take care of Mr. B. Hot and Cold now getting this shield down. That'll work, and that'll allow this bomb, well, I think, to go down. Hot and Cold will attempt the plant, but he'll get off it knowing that Tristan is there and taking care of Rampy on the coverage. So it's much more dangerous now if Hot and Cold want to attempt this. He does have that protection from the OSHA shield, though, and that protection will work. Fultz finally finding his impact with that gun instead of just the nades. He'll step up and get something done, but Hat, does he have a chance to get this counter defuse? Is anybody around the corner? I don't know. Yeti's in Office. Fultz is also in that same position. Yeti's got to step up, but he can't do it in time. Tristan, with a really good shot on the coverage, will allow Hat to get the defuse, and it'll allow Reality TV to take a 4-2 defensive split.
3 rounds out of 6, SSG are able to get exactly what they want, get the control they need, and start putting that bomb down. And 3 times now, whether before the plant or after, Reality TV are able to stop it. And with that round, that is especially bittersweet for SSG because they took out Rice, the C4, that for 3 rounds was so problematic for them when they tried to get that bomb down, whether it be in Armory or in Tellers. They take him off the board, but because of how little control they've been trying to go, how minimal they've been trying to take these attacks, it ends up biting them. All they have to do, or all they had to clear out metal, was Fultz flanking up as Nook from Vent. You've got Hat over there. You have Tristan over there. You have Gideon CCTV, who did end up dying. and you aren't able to take the control you want. With everybody stacked over on that East Stairs side, Reality TV knew where they were playing, and it still required some good gunfights, and SSG still got the bomb down. But if Reality TV know where you are, that makes the probability they can win those gunfights a lot higher.
So now we switch things up. Reality TV, they'll move on to the attacking side, and SSG, we'll get to see exactly what they've got in store for us on the defense. Already one pretty massive early change that's going to totally shape the way that Reality TV have to play this. That's, of course, the Mira, right? You haven't seen her so far this map, and, you know, generally that's something you would expect to have seen earlier. It's Bosco to bring out that mantle of those black mirrors that can provide so much area denial, so much control for the defense that will derail these attacks if they're not careful. Reality TV, they've got to now make that tough decision of how they want to deal with those mirrors. Do they want to go below, try to deal with them that way, or maybe try to circumvent them by just simply ignoring them? Both have a lot of risks. Both can have a lot of success as well, though, and we'll see exactly what they try to do in just a moment.
Reality TV as opposed to SSG this game, or at least historically, Reality TV have favored those full clears, trying to clear out these roamers and not just push directly into the defense. They're only starting out in Easton office so far, so this could indicate a change of pace as well, but they've spotted that Mira inside of office, and once you see that black Mira there, especially with the hatch reinforced and electrified, it's going to be very difficult to take office, especially from the east side. So they'll likely start rotating their focus over to CCTV, maybe joining Giddy as well. Rice is not left. He's still holding that area. Tristan down below, holding things as well. Reality TV perhaps waiting for SSG to make a move for a defender to rotate. They almost get what they're looking for with Hot and Cold on 1 HP, but yet he's playing his normal position. He's playing inside of CC, and with half the round now gone, nothing has given from SSG aside from a few bullets of HP.
Oh, nearly there. Hat walks into the crosshair of Yeti, but the bullets may be a couple of seconds too late. Hot and Cold will be the first to fall. Giddy, actually, technically, will be the first to fall as Hot and Cold is down but not out, and Rampy will make sure to strike first. Yeti, though, coming under fire here, will need some support, and it looks like he's getting it. Folt is also getting a little bit active, helping out and taking care of business. In this case, that business was Rice. Hat, though, sneaks up from the other side and gets them both right back. So just like that, we're equalized. Good awareness from Hat, a nice little sneaky play to tie us back up.
And Reality TV have been lurking for the majority of this round, and finally it pays off with Hat bringing it back to 3-3. But SSG are still firmly in their positions. They have this mirror window in office. It is flash, but nobody from Reality TV pushing in just yet. Mr. B will send a second one in as Tristan will hop into the office window, but as the C4 lands, it's a trade in the end. 2-2 make that 1-2 with Fultz the last alive.
Mr. B taking care of Rampy there. That leaves Fultz as the last man standing, and Reality TV poised and ready to take this. But watch out, the Bandit still has a C4, still has a very strong position, and Reality TV, they cannot rush this. Mr. B trying to get this plant down. Hat doesn't have the right angle to cover the toss, does he? No, instead, Fultz, he goes for the swing, leaves the C4 in pocket, and that'll cost him the round.
I mean, Hat is the player from Reality TV that brought that game back. The entire attack was kind of like SSG, a very slow one. And for Reality TV, seemingly a little indecisive. We have Giddy over by CCTV, and it's clear they wanted to go for an office take, but once they spotted those black mirrors, they were struggling to formulate a way to clear those whilst keeping true to the strategy they went into that round with. Go down 3-5, Yeti holding fast inside of CCTV. What Reality TV have is that individual skill, and Hat able to lurk into CCTV, finish off the down player, and then get Yeti. Well, now coordinating and focusing on that office position is a lot easier. You don't have to worry about anybody taking a gunfight from 90 or flanking you from balcony. It might be a mirror, but with Mr. B's flashes and Tristan hopping into that office window, now you have what you lacked before. The man advantage and nobody to directly support Bosco.
I gotta say, I thought that Fultz was gonna be able to win that round. I really did. I mean, he had a C4 in his hand, and it looked like he had the angle to throw it over and deny the plant. And while Hat had a really good position to shut down Fultz if you wanted to take the gunfight and walk through, the one thing Hat couldn't deny was the C4 thrown up and over, because he wouldn't have really been able to spot Fultz when that C4 was thrown. Hat would have had to rely on his ability to shoot the C4 out of the air, and that is not something that is easy to do, as everyone will tell you. So Really well done from Reality TV. Felt like SSG certainly could have had that one, though, and they are fighting tooth and nail for every inch of control on this map, and they are not going to stop. Yes, Reality TV are up 3 right now, but I'm confident that they are not going to get complacent whatsoever.
Yeah, those are the kind of rounds you want to see from SSG. Even if it didn't result in a win, holding firmly onto that control, not falling back on Reality TV push. That was still inspired some level of confidence on SSG that they will not be asleep at the wheel this half. Reality TV now fighting, I believe, Teller's Archives. Decide to smoke that window, and they have the glass. They've rushed there before with that glass, but this time it might just be trying to bait people out and make the defenders think that they're rushing, and it'll catch people rotating down that bathroom hatch or peeking that vending machine to maybe get a kill, because the rush was a fake. Reality TV instead trying to go for this full clear. Mr. B has worked his way into break. The defense, they might not be aware, but they are certainly ready for it. With Rampy and Yeti both inside of office, Reality TV don't have support from CCTV right now as they are focusing on Armory, which is where the bulk of the empty space for SSG is. And that might be the exact spot they want to slip the knife in and start creating a gap.
Yeah, Reality TV with 90 seconds already transpiring. Like you said, Carter, they haven't really created that space that they need. They've got to start at some point. SSG still have a lot of these power positions held. You see Rampy on the top of the east stairs. He should be able to shut that down, no problem, but look at that timing. I mean, Tristan, as he swings, he doesn't spot Rampy, but Rampy doesn't spot him either. Second time around, though, it'll go the way of the Oryx, no problem. Giddy, he knows he's got to recover this, so he'll step up. Mr. B will as well, trying to take a little bit more space here, but this isolated, individual playstyle of Reality TV, it comes with so many risks, because those trades, if you do go down, are going to be so hard to find.
And Giddy as well, now on low HP. Rice low as well. Those trades slipping and slipping away just as the seconds roll by. SSG holding their positions, but Yeti might be the first one to start facing some fight in the next 45 seconds. That wall of metal is opened up. But Bosco actually the first down as Hat has rotated into courtyard unbeknownst to the defense and cut off a prime avenue for rotations.
That's a big surprise for Reality TV and SSG. They are left reeling now. Bosco, he'll get finished off by Hat. Hat gets 2. The glass is going crazy. Hot and cold, he's now the last alive. And Reality TV, they've got all the control they could ever need. Rice will drop down and look to get this defuse. Hat will fall in the meantime. And, well, I guess Rice and Giddy, they're both incredibly low HP, but they will still get it done. Hat, the madman on the glass, the surprise push into bathroom that SSG that just we're not ready for.
Yeah, 2 attacking rounds in a row now. A late rotation by Hat, turning things around or accelerating things for Reality TV. Because just like that first round on attack, round number 7, Reality TV, we're struggling to make a lot of progress. Rampy's got the opening kill 2 times now on the defense, 5 times overall, by the way. Just to give a shout out to Rampy, 5-0 onto the entry so far, if I have my math correct. So not only SSG being dominant in the entry game, but Rampy in particular getting them a lot of those opening kills. Reality TV in the late round on the attack, specifically Hat in the late round, able to rotate into CCTV in round 7 and now cut off the key rotation between vents and customs and tellers and bathroom, able to keep things on lock with that glass DMR, now send Reality TV to match point.
I mean, Reality TV, they are not messing around. I mean, yet another round, another example of a situation where it looked like they had no business winning it in that mid-round. I mean, they were playing so individually, so slowly, it looked like SSG just had Reality TV right where they wanted them. But it's these little moments, these little plays from someone like Hat that just completely changed the course of the round. Reality TV, right now, they're relying on that, but boy, oh boy, is it working. I mean, SSG, they need to find a way to take advantage of this Reality TV playstyle that we're seeing, you know, a lot of map control, a lot of these attackers in different positions. They're just in more vulnerable positions, and they don't have a ton of support from their teammates. That's what SSG need to capitalize on. We almost saw it there. Hot and Cold almost getting a little bit active, taking care of Hat, or at least doing a little bit of damage onto him as that Claymore got placed down.
Oh! Excellent! Excellent play by Yeti right there. Him and Hutton tag teaming the south side of the map right now, and Hat regretting ever peeking Yeti inside of CCTV. And that's that key late round player down. We said it before, SSG, Reality TV might have won the previous 2 attacks, but SSG have not gone down without a fight. And the early round has been their domain. 3-0 on their defenses for landing that opening pick. It's those conversions that have been ever so elusive. But as Hot and Cold and Yeti both hold control of CCTV right now, which Reality TV have been heavily focusing on so far on this attack, they have their work cut out for them in round 9. As long as they can hold that position, if Reality TV want to go for it, they'll have to stack more and more players and feed more and more bodies that SSG are just willing and waiting to deal with.
Hot and Goldie knows this is coming, and he is ready for it. Looks like Reality TV will think twice. Don't want to deal with the Azami in an incredibly dangerous position. That is wise, especially knowing the support that Yeti provides from his position as well. But Hot and Cold, he wants some more. He's going to get active, and Tristan needs to be very careful here. Top of these stairs, Hot and Cold has actually put himself into a corner, potentially in a corner to die if he's not careful. Bosco gets one back, and Tristan tacking on that kill will keep us going back and forth, but it is Yeti again. Hot and Cold with another. And finally, Reality TV, now they are the ones falling to pieces. Giddy is the last player alive here as SSG have simply outmaneuvered Reality TV in this round.
Able to hold to all of those forward positions and not drop a single body until, well, the very final seconds of that ill-fated Reality TV push. But because of the man advantage they had acquired earlier, it didn't even matter in the end. Giddy, of course, in this 1v3, he's got 25 seconds left and 1 drone as well, 2 concussion lifelines as well. But will he be able to make use of them and win this round? It's heavily unlikely. Bosco is out of smokes, but Fultz has that C4 prepped and waiting. Maybe even for the beeper's call. Yup, he throws it, and there it goes. Waiting for Giddy to cross the threshold, cross the Rubicon, and down he goes. But overall, for SSG, they didn't really change a lot of things up from those previous rounds. We still got Yeti and CCTV. They've committed Hot and Cold to that position as well. But once they saw that Reality TV were so focused, so dedicated to clearing out that position, once they got that kill, they knew, hey, they really brought things back in the late round. It's the early round. That's been our game. That's been our territory. Let's just try and keep the momentum going and try to hold on to these positions as long as we can.
I honestly love that adjustment from SSG, right? Because they decided to kind of play. It felt like the defense there was channeling RTV attack energy almost, right? Like that kind of individual creep your way around the map style, right? Hot and Cold exuded that, I mean, just to perfection. And that exacerbated, right, the issues that Reality TV have been having with their slow entry, right? Their unwillingness to push a position, right, as a team. Again, more solo plays rather than that unified push. And so when someone like Hot and Cold and Yeti, right, when they were set up in CCTV and giving Reality TV so much trouble, RTV had to make a choice, like, do they want to just push into these incredibly tough situations as individuals, or do they want to bring the team together and push them as a unit? And while they did end up doing that, pushing as a unit, that just takes time, that takes a lot of utility, and as we saw there, it can cost a lot of bodies too.
Yeah, just a good way to counter Reality TV, present them with an aggressive but united front, and you aren't going to give them any easy spots. You can say, oh, we can pressure and work a kill there. Oh, we can overwhelm them there. If you're just able to all play together, play around each other, and have your battle buddy close by to trade you out, Reality TV can often find themselves stuck outside of the map, and it has been so far a defender-sided border. Defense taking the vast majority of these rounds until Reality TV broke that streak in round 7 and 8, but SSG, if they're able to keep up this pressure, might just bring it back. If they can minimize the late round play that Reality TV are going for, they can certainly minimize some of the drones at the moment. Solus stationed inside of Custom, trying to see where Reality TV are starting this clear from. If Hot and Cold activates that Specchio scanner, you'll notice that Yeti, he's about to face quite a bit of pressure with Giddy and Tristan on that Armory Valk, looking to push into either Armory or CCTV.
Yeti will strike first. Yeti, looking the other way, though, will finally get traded out. Tough there for Mr. B. Actually, almost missed his opportunity to get that kill onto the Capcan. But ended up being just fine. Equalizing 4v4. No real issues there for both teams. Taking care of Giddy, though, that's a very good pick for SSG. And I'd argue that is a far better trade for the defense than the attack, because Yeti, he's the Capcan. He doesn't really have much impact to make later in this round, but Giddy, that's your hard breacher. Now you're going to have to rely on the secondary hard breach, those can openers that Hat is bringing into play, and that is something that is much more difficult to use. Now Hot and Cold, again, in a very similar position to the one he was in last time, in a nice little rat corner to catch Hat completely off guard. One more player. Be careful here, Reality TV. Hot and Cold was ready, but Rice had the flash, and he was ready too. Back to an even 3v3 as a result.
And not the best mid-round from Reality TV. I think we saw on Solis' screen as well a muted drone down below, but instead of trying to drone jail or customs once again, they assume it's clear, and that feeds Hot and Cold a free kill. Into the 3-3 right now. Have we not seen Reality TV attack this site so far? And so far, like the other ones, it's been very slow and very undecided. Even with the opening they acquired in CCTV in terms of map control, they've not been able to capitalize off of it. Volts sitting inside of Armory, Rampy on the hatch, waiting for someone to push the Oryx out as well. This nade, if they want to be sure about this, needs to land, but they got the final kill for the 30 seconds. Maybe they can send this.
Ooh, Volts, he stepped up and got it, but quickly traded, and it'll be Reality TV with Rice to get the final blow, who will take map number 1. Just like that, on SSG's map pick, mind you, Reality TV will take a decisive 7-3 victory, setting themselves up very well for this best-of-3 series.
Now, going into this series with just shy of an 80% win rate on border over the year. Now, they'll crest that threshold, as they have won it the majority of the time they played it this year. But, I mean, come on. SSG's pick, you know, you expect the team to go in with the map they pick. They're going to win it. Other team win their map pick, and they win the decider. But CJ was confident Reality TV, right? He thought they were going to 2-0. But I'm intrigued to see, Jonah. Was Reality TV 7-3ing SSG on SSG's map pick? Was that really in the cards? Did any of us seriously think that Reality TV would show up in that way? I mean, they won their defenses with those late round plays. Rice with those C4s ever on point on that mute. And then they get the 2 rounds in a row on attack. And at that point, it seemed like they were just biding their time when they finally got another successful late round to make it work.
Well, a lot to talk about there, and that's where we're going to head to next. Back to the analyst desk to make that happen. But before we do, a quick break, so we'll see you there in a moment.